So hello again everybody, here we are again on a ride video. I've got to attend to some business up in East Anglia, and there is a curiosity en route that I thought it was worth going to have a look at. I've been past it many times, never really understood what it was until recently, and some of you who live in the UK may have been past it too. So we're going to stop there and have a look at it, and it's kind of something which sticks out a mile, but because of the nature of where it's located, people go past it every day without really giving it a second glance. So I hope you'll find it interesting. Until the end of the Cold War, this area had a lot of American personnel living in and around these villages because of the various air bases that are nearby. Mildenhall and Lakenheath, two huge bases, are still open. And this little village that we just went through, their garage, the one garage they've got, the shop in the garage, still sells American breakfast cereals and American candy, because I think probably there were a few Americans who decided that when they left their military service they were going to stay and live in the UK. So it's just a little hangover from the friendly invasion of East Anglia that started in World War II and carried on right up until the 1990s. And we still have some American service personnel left in this area, but nowhere near as many as they used to be. we're well on the way into Suffolk now, quite close to our destination. And where we're heading to is Elveden War Memorial. Now you might wonder what's so special about this war memorial. There are many thousands all over the UK. But I think you'll find as we get closer to it, you'll start to understand why it's worth a look. And if you look out on the horizon now, just above that truck and slightly to the left, we'll go past that bridge, and the memorial is just starting to appear on the horizon, and we're still a mile away from it. This is a crazy busy road, loads of people go past it all the time, including me. And you always notice it, but most people have no idea what it is, and neither did I. So I was really curious. I thought, let's find out more about it. And when I did, I thought, this is worth a trip on the bike. So we'll be pulling over in this parking spot, and then I'll take a walk a bit closer to it, and I'll tell you a bit more about this remarkable monument. And it seems to have disappeared. It hasn't really, it's just behind the trees. So let me get my kit off and take a walk down there, and we can take a closer look. So here I am on the really busy A11 road in Suffolk, and we've just passed and pulled in, just past the memorial, which is down there. So let's take a walk down and have a look at it. It was commissioned by Edward Cecil Guinness, the first Earl of Iveagh. And Guinness, yes, he came from the famous Guinness brewing family and was an incredibly wealthy man. He was British Irish, and at that time allegedly he was the richest man in Ireland. He owned an estate which still exists, the Elveden estate, which is way over that way where those guys are going through on their mountain bikes. And after World War I, he wanted to commemorate the lives of all of the young men that had worked on the estate and had gone off to war in World War I and had not returned. So let's get a little bit closer and I'll tell you a bit more about this quite remarkable memorial. Now as we approach the memorial, you'll see that a few feet above the ground there is actually a doorway, and that doorway leads to a spiral staircase which goes all the way to the top of the memorial. It doesn't look like it's been used for many years, but it is part of it. It's not a solid column, it is hollow with a staircase inside. And apart from this side with the doorway, on each of the other three sides, representing the three villages, you'll see the names of the villagers from Earl who were lost in the First World War, and underneath you'll see an addition where there is the name of the person from the village who was lost in World War II. If we look up the column, you might be able to see these vertical slits, and these vertical slits are on the other side as well, and they allow natural light to come in so that people travelling up that spiral staircase can see what they're doing. We move on to this second column now. We'll see the main inscription here, where the parishes of Elveden, Earl and Iveagh meet. The inhabitants have erected this monument to the glorious memory of the men of these villages who gave their lives for freedom and honour in the Great War 1914 to 1919, and underneath it we see the names of the 10 men that were lost in the Great War from Iveagh, and then underneath 2 further names of people from Iveagh who were lost during World War II. Moving round to the third column now, we'll see the names of those young men who worked on the estate and who came from the village of Elveden, who lost their lives in the Great War, World War I. And once again, there is an additional stone inset for the lives of 3 people during World War II who were lost. And you'll see that the first name says Arthur Viscount Elveden, and Arthur Elveden was the son of the first Earl of Iveagh, who commissioned this. He commissioned this in 1919, just after World War I, and it was built between 1919 and 1921. The first Earl of Iveagh died in 1927 at the age of 79. So he didn't know that tragically his son would be lost during World War II. His son was a major serving in the Royal Artillery, and in 1945, not long before the war ended, he was killed in Belgium when a German V-1 rocket landed on his position and exploded. In total, it honours 48 men from the estate who were lost in World War I, and 6 names from World War II. It is 127 feet or 38 metres high, and that's one of the tallest memorials in Britain, and it's certainly the tallest in this county. It's almost, but not quite as tall as Nelson's Column in London. The memorial is designed and built in the style of a Corinthian column made out of Weldon stone, and the urn on the top is made of Portland stone. The architect was Clyde Francis Young. That spiral staircase I talked to you about has got 148 steps. So it's quite a remarkable monument to those young men from this estate that worked in these fields and these forests and then went off to war. The first Earl of Iveagh, fabulously wealthy, as I said earlier on, but also a great philanthropist. Apart from this one memorial, he was responsible for many, many charitable works, including a thing called the Guinness Trust, which did an awful lot of work around helping people get out of slum housing in London. and a number of other charitable ventures. He was, albeit very wealthy, he was also a very charitable man. So there's the Elveden Memorial on this incredibly busy road, very incongruous. You could drive past it and you wouldn't have a clue what it was, but now you do. So I hope you found this interesting, and I'm going to head back to the bike and carry on with the rest of my day. So there we are, Elveden War Memorial. Just something you could pass on a trip to somewhere else, on way to your holiday or vacation, and think it's a bit of a curiosity but not really know what's behind it. But what's behind it is an act of love and respect and remembrance for nearly 50 young men who didn't come home from World War I. And subsequently, although he didn't know it at the time, another 6 young men, including the Earl of Iveagh's son, who didn't return from World War II. I hope you found this interesting. Please give me a like and subscribe if you can. I really need all the help I can get at the moment. It's early days. I'm going to be getting on with the rest of my journey now. And in my next video, I think it might be another mod video where I'll talk about the voltage regulator, what it does, why it's important, how they go wrong, and what you can do to protect your electrical system by replacing it with a better voltage regulator. Anyway, that's it for me. Keep riding, drink tea, stay safe. Bye.